How's it going? No sounds at the start. Feel a bit naked. Bit vulnerable. I figured I'm going to do it from scratch video. Going to make some stuff from nothing. Well, not from nothing, but from this kind of very basic starting point I've got. Before I get into it though, I wanted to share this. It's just come through the post this morning. Very excited. Beautiful color. New edition. Really excited to read this. If none of you have heard of the KLF, then you should go check them out. Very interesting kind of pop stadium dance plunderphonics thing. They were their own thing really in the sort of early 90s, but really interesting approach to stuff, which I think anti-establishment is probably how they would describe themselves, which I'm all a fan of. So I'm kind of looking forward to reading this hardback as well, which I wasn't expecting. So very cool. But anyway, I just want to share that because I'm kind of excited, and it's motivated me to do this from scratch video actually, because just hearing some of their music this morning, the 12-inch version of It's a Grim Up North. If you've not heard that, go check it out. It's like it starts off as this sort of epic dance anthem thing. And then kind of ends even more epic. It's just nuts, just crazy. And considering this was like in the charts is kind of madness, even thinking about it now. But anyway, back to the rhythm. I've got this really basic BD plastic engine running, 16 steps. And all I've done so far is I've just gone through each step and just put velocities based on the pitch, which is using the keyboard tracking kind of sheet that's always in the description. Didn't want to do that on video because it doesn't take that long, but it's boring as shit to watch. So, and I kind of thought it's a good starting point. Turned up things a little bit as well because the amp was kind of, I think the sound source I've turned up. The amp I have. And other than that, it's like box standard. So what we've got so far is pretty whatever. No idea where this is going to go. So first thing I want to do is remove the volume to velocity. So we've all fixed volumes, and then the next thing I want to do is put some frequency based on that velocity. So as you can see there. So I want to turn my filter down so it's really quiet, and then I want to turn this up. So just get some emphasis on the high notes. This is kind of like, just get some stuff in there and see if there's a bit of a movement happening. And from that, it's like, just playing around. So we'll see what happens. Or maybe I'll have it a bit quiet in the background so I can kind of talk over the top. I don't know. We'll see. So first thing I'm thinking of is like, I want to add some more attack to it. So more aggression. So I'm going to change this to be, actually we'll keep that one there because we might come back to that. And sometimes like at this point, I'm not thinking anything, right? I can't possibly predict where I want this to go. So I'm just kind of trying to follow, I'm trying to ballpark. That's how I would best put it. Like every single time I'm like, this sounds crap. How do I get it to sound a little bit more exciting, to excite me, to get me involved? So the other thing I'm noticing is too slow. The other thing is the sound is just not interesting. So let's try. I've been playing around with this BD plastic on the kind of sweep time, I think it was. I forget which one it was. But basically like changing the amount of... Actually, we can go from the sound source and see which one it is. So set it to like a rough starting point, I guess. Yeah, so liking that already. The other thing I'm remembering is, the length is always fixed. So reducing that down and then changing my amplitude so I've kind of got a bit more space in between the notes. So I think as I've sped it up, there's not much space in between one note to the next or one step to the next. You know, versus this massive blur. And you can kind of use that. I find I use that as like I can then sustain certain stuff to be like maybe the lower stuff needs to be longer or create some movement. But then I can do it on the length, which makes this, you know, setting quite easy because I can kind of do this on one page. And I can look at like maybe I want the lower one to be longer or something. And it doesn't need to be accurate, like I just whack them in. I mean, I'm not telling you how to do this, like me saying it doesn't have to be accurate. I'm not teaching you. I mean, I'm just thinking out loud. I'm telling myself this doesn't need to be accurate. You work out how the fuck you want to do your own stuff, right? I'm just sharing you kind of in the moment. There is no right and wrong way to do anything, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. That's if I was to give one word of advice, you know, that would be it. Someone who says that's not the right way to do it, you should tell them to F off, very bluntly. So we can get rid of this one. Oh, maybe we'll put a different... Yeah, so the other thing is like a bit like the old DX7 sort of stuff, like turning the parameter up and then just flicking through the settings I find really helps. Kind of like this mod level. So I'm thinking I can go back to this. Kind of like it higher though. Yeah, maybe this ends up being a performance-y thing. We will see. Yeah, the release on the envelope, my god. Forget how important that is. There we go. So at this point, right, I'm hearing something, at least to me. So we got those sustain ones that I put in earlier, probably. So we got, I think it's 6, isn't it? Yeah, 6. And then, yeah, so the 2 that I made longer. Resonance for extra bass. What was the other one? I think I can undo that. Did that do it? No. Oh well, it's gone. There we go. Sounds better. 14. So this is the other thing, starting to take away a few steps just to give myself both like some space to think. So I'm not hearing the same stuff over and over again. but also get a sense of like punctuating certain things, giving myself this is the sound I'm focusing on. Maybe I can play around with the release of it. Could be because we got mutes. Why isn't that sustaining as much as I want it to? I don't know. I don't know why it isn't. Should be. Okay. No idea. It's weird. Don't know why it's saying that. That's going to bug me. Anyway, let's see what else we can... So I feel like we've got some sort of movement. I want to have this highs up here. And I'm just trying to look for like moments where things catch, one sound catches another. And each one of those sounds like telling me, oh, I need to be this or I need to be that. That's why it wasn't sustaining. There we go. Because it's percussive sound, isn't it? Of course. So like an accident like that, or not an accident, but my lack of knowledge puts us in a different space, which is quite cool. So like here we've got like a bit of a gap, some other sort of gaps, and I find like the mute's really good to just sort of to help with working out where stuff needs to be or not. I like that better. So like the sense of the cycle is different. This is the other thing, we're still in 16 steps, so you know that might change in a minute. Less notes is always better. So at this point I'm like, I know there's loads of stuff muted, I just want to get rid of them so I don't get confused. So that gives me a visual indicator of where stuff's going on, and then you can start to, at least I can start to see like, oh, maybe I can put something in here or put something in there. So compressor, that's what we got time for, or it's time for that. I'm finding like the 31 to this off is quite good. Sounding pretty quirky. I guess we go to some delay maybe. For the sake of texture, I really wish I could go into the LFO and kind of fine tune it. Maybe I'll do that. Let's do that. So we'll put this all set to nothing. Have this on a saw. Have this triggered. Put some steps down on the effects track, and then we can assign like a micro delay amount. So if we whack this up, I think we can bring this down. So what I'm looking for here is some sort of like sort of swingy kind of feel, I guess. And also like for textures that come out of that delay, so like a less delay is like as a traditional delay effect, I suppose, like all in time, but using it as a kind of a lazy way of just like getting stuff to happen without me having to program it. Like that. The other thing I find is having this up and having this up sort of brings the rhythm into a space that it isn't typically. Like it has a cleanness, separate sound kind of thing going on. Driving a delay circuit, driving a distortion helps solve that. That thing I've done there is like, I find like the ping pong, it just gets too predictable. So just having some sense of space, like with the width. But then if you've got a short feedback, it always goes like to the initial side. So you don't get the ping pong as much. You just get like, I guess, the ping. So just kind of being a bit more brutal with the width as a pan, but having it in there kind of helps. And sometimes like offsetting the balance of the original maybe by a little bit if it's too over, just gives it a weird feel. So I'm going to record this bit in live because I feel like that's what I'm hearing. I think that's got it. Kind of reminds me of I don't know what Aphex Twin track it is. He does a thing with like I guess it's like Sawtooth Slowdown or something. It's like this weird thing. To think what track it's in. In a few of his old 12 inches reminds me of that. Doesn't sound like Aphex Twin, obviously, but you sometimes I find sounds just come out as well. I'm playing around with them. I'm like, oh, that's that record, or that's that synth. Yeah, it's better. Had to stop talking for a bit there. It's really difficult to think out loud and listen. Yeah, it's just pretty weird. So we'll find it. We'll find it, or maybe we won't. So at 34 minutes in, I finally find something that sounds kind of okay. Some gritty dubby thing. Yeah, making music's hard, man. so that you can see the compressor just, it's difficult to set it until you know kind of what the track needs, right? That bass kind of seems to be a lead, like that's the main grit, that one, but it's just too thumpy, especially not having the ability to EQ afterwards, which is something like I would particularly do in the Mode 2, but I'm not doing at the moment. So just kind of controlling that, getting that ducking going on with the effects seems to work a bit better. Oh yeah, you can't almighty track, can you? Yeah, kind of feel like that level again, right, between like the dry source and the effects. Really hard to get like the effects even louder at some points and still have the main sound hit it. Just not having that pre-post ability with the level. So like I can't drive it. I can't have that mix and still drive it quite as well as I could with the mixer. I mean, I guess you could like what I end up doing is like turning off the routing and then trying to maybe like having the occasional sound come through. I guess you could like double it up, copy this one over, and then just have like that bit as a mix, and then have the rest, you know, that bit as dry, blended in, and then have the other ones just the turned off. So you've got that ability to. So I mean. I guess that is the answer. I mean, just copying this over, and then maybe wait, my fingers are going around. Mute these ones. So you just got that as the dry, and then maybe yeah, this can be the kind of effect strip, and then if I just want to have the dry, I probably want to turn these down. Yeah, so let's turn those off. Turn this down so we make sure we've got a level, because it sounds like we haven't. Audio routing's on, that's all on. Why is there no audio? Could it be because of the slide is hanging over? We don't know. It's not muted. It's not muted. Play, god damn it. Yeah, not sure. Not sure why that's not playing. Volume's okay. Length is okay. Why is that off? Shouldn't be. Don't know. That's interesting. Oh, maybe because it was modulated. I don't know. Anyway, we got it. So this is kind of, I mean, you know, that kind of idea. It sounds crap, but maybe that's the payoff, to have like a dry signal, and then you can at least drive it. Be nice to be able to control that. I guess you could set it up on there, but anyway, you get the idea. More tweaking and tuning could be endless possibilities. This video is really long. I'm going to knock it here. It's been interesting. It's going through from the start and not knowing where it's going to go. I typically end up in kind of dubby territories, honestly. It's either that or like erratic kind of techno-y stuff, at least with this, because you've got that ability with the delays and everything. For the overload of my brain, trying to talk through what I'm doing and create at the same time, my god, man, if you've not tried it, try talking to, I don't know, if you've got someone else in the house with you, talk to them, or a pet or a wall or whatever. Yeah, it's interesting. It's a real interesting process to realizing how much is instinctual and how much you take like certain sort of understandings of things into the creative process, and you're not really kind of consciously thinking of them. And I think that points to the importance of having like lots and lots of reflection, like post-creative process, listening back to stuff with a very different mind to what it is when you're creating, because they feel so different. I think trying to understand what I'm doing while I'm doing it, and a lot of the time it's just turning dials, like ultimately knowing how the machine works, turning dials and waiting for something to sound good, and then kind of thinking, can I like dial that in, or you know, it's almost like getting a glimmer of something through the fog, and then trying to work out what it could be. It kind of feels very much like that. So and just doing that over and over and over again, at least that's kind of how I do stuff. Nothing helps more than practicing that and just kind of going through that process. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. I feel like I need to lie down. I'll share the project in the description and everything. And yeah, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.